In the first chapter, Arjun was shown to be completely immersed in grief caused by attachment and delusion. Hello and welcome to my channel. We are reading Bhagwatgeeta because it's a time of Pitrupaksh when the souls of our ancestors visit earth. And we believed that reading Bhagwatgeeta during this time give peace to the souls of our ancestors. Today we are reading chapter 2, Sankhya. Independently analyzing the problem, he comes to the conclusion that withdrawing from the war is the only solution. In the beginning of the second chapter, we see the turning point in Arjun. Chastised by Krishna, Arjun analyzes the situation further. This leads to the two important discoveries. His weakness of attachment is a fundamental problem which cannot be solved by superficial methods. He has to surrender completely to a guru to get out of this fundamental problem. Thus, Arjun becomes a Shishya by surrendering to Lord Krishna. Naturally, Krishna also becomes a guru. Now that the Guru Shishya relationship has been struck, the teaching can begin. Once a human being discovers a seeker in him, the Guru will be right in front. The Vedantic teaching can take place only between a Guru and Shishya. Krishna straightway attacks Arjun's idea that war is going to harm Bhishma or himself. He points out that all the problems of Arjun are because of delusion caused by ignorance, for wise men never have a problem. Thereafter, Krishna gives different reasons to establish that Arjun has to fight this war. From the standpoint of true nature of Atma, Bhishma and others are immortal. Atma is never object to changes in spite of the changes of the body. It is neither a door nor an enjoyer. Hence, neither is Arjuna slayer nor is Bhishma slain. So, why should he resist to fight? Even if the Atma is impermanent, Arjuna should not lament. Whatever appears will have to disappear, and whatever disappears will appear. Hence, one should learn to accept the change. In fact, change is the beauty of the creation. It looks ugly when our outlook is partial or selfish. Hence, why should Arjun grieve for the physical separation from Bhishma and others, which is inevitable in life? From the standpoint of Kshatriya's duty, Arjun can fight if it is necessary to establish order. A Kshatriya must look at the problem not from personal standpoint but from social standpoint. Hence, why should Arjun hesitate to fight for a righteous cause? A righteous war is a door to heaven for a Kshatriya. If Arjun avoids war, not only he be shirking his duty or losing heaven, but he will positively incur sin. For avoiding sin, at least Arjun should fight. Looking at the situation from worldly angle, Arjun should not withdraw from the war. He will be called a coward by everyone, including the future generation. Shouldn't Arjun fight to protect his reputation? With these arguments, Lord persuades Arjun to fight and concludes the first part of his teaching. He called his Sankhya Yoga. In fact, the first argument which deals with the nature of the Atma and the body alone is the Sankhya Yoga. Hereafter, the Lord enters in Buddhi Yoga. Though Sankhya Yoga is the true solution for sorrow, many are not fit to gain it because of the false idea that worldly pursuits can solve the problem. So, initially, one has to be allowed to pursue worldly ends. By this, one should discover for oneself that action and their results cannot give permanent satisfaction. This is dispassion. A dispassionate mind can pursue Sankhya Yoga. Thus, Karma Yoga is introduced as a mean to come to Sankhya Yoga. First, the Lord describes the glory of Karma Yoga. Then comes the principle of Karma Yoga. One can choose one's action but never the result. The result is dependent on the law of action. The other factors of the world, known and unknown, may bring a totally unexpected result. One cannot avoid that. Yet, inaction will not be a solution. No one can completely know the laws of action. Hence, actions are often imperfect in spite of effort. So, one should ever be ready for any result. One can hope for the best, but should be prepared for the worst. When one acts with the above understanding, success and failure lost their capacity to shake him. One does not react because he is not caught unaware. This equanimity in action is yoke. Thus, one can convert the binding karma into a valid teacher. This is skill in action. A tranquil mind will soon shed its false value attribute to the world and turns towards the Atma. When, through self knowledge, one gets established in the peaceful Atma, he attains liberation. Now, Arjun becomes curious to know the characteristics of a person who is firmly established in self knowledge. Krishna answers Arjun's question and gives the means of stabilizing the knowledge. Knowledge cannot be fruitful unless it is stabilized and assimilated. For this, Krishna talks about two important sadhanas. They are the control of the mind and the sense organs and contemplation upon the teaching. By this, the knowledge sets. On the other hand, if these are not practiced, the mind and the sense organs will drag a person to the field of sense objects and gradually pull him down spiritually. Talking about the characteristics of a wise man, the Lord points out that the man of self knowledge is always satisfied with himself and consequently he is free from all desires. He is independent of the world to be happy. Naturally, he is free from attachment, hatred, desire, anger, fear, elation, depression, etc. Though living in the same world, he enjoys a freedom and contentment which is known to others. Thus, if the ignorant man can be said to be in darkness with regards to the Atma, the wise man is in broad daylight of the Atma. The best comparison for the wise man's mind is the ocean. The ocean is independently full and is unaffected by the rivers entering or not entering, dirty or clean. Similarly, the wise man's mind is independently full. It is undisturbed by the favorable and unfavorable experiences entering or not entering. Krishna concludes this topic by glorifying this state as the Brahmi state, reaching which one does not get deluded again. He lives life as a Jivan Mukta, liberated while living. Even at the far end of this journey, after death, he becomes one with Brahman, which is called Videha Mukti. Since Sankhya Yoga is the main topic, this chapter is aptly called Sankhya Yoga. So, this is it for today. I'll read another chapter 3 Karma Yoga in my next video. Till then, keep listening beautiful stories and keep smiling.